All right, here we are. I have no idea what episode this is of the New York versus MA fantasy football podcast, but joining the booth with me, I got Robbie, I got Dez, I got two tried and true members of Team Spirit. We got three victors in the booth. That's what we like to see heading into draft day. We got a week and a half till draft day. How you guys doing?
What's up, fellas? How's it going? Good to be here. Not really in fantasy football mode yet, but I'm ready to get started, get a mock going, and yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Hey.
Yeah, what's up, boys? I'm ready to pick first overall for the third year in a row after, winning the draft order Olympics for the third year in a row. So, yeah, let's get going.
And Des, how have those first overall picks worked out for you the last 2 years?
The past is the past. We're just focusing on the present. The future's bright. The present and the future are bright.
You can see on the screen right now Jonathan Taylor at the 101 last year. Didn't quite work out, even if I agree it was the right pick at the time.
Yeah, he had a Twilight Zone kind of season. Coach became very stagnant right away. Then they hired a not qualified by any means coach that became one of the worst coaches in NFL history based on blowing a 33-point lead at halftime. And now he has back inflammation and he wants to trade. So, and I'm sure all of that a lot of that was happening last year behind the scenes. We're just hearing about now. So, yeah, that was a weird year for JT owners.
Yeah, definitely a weird year. The latest I saw on him was that he wanted like $16 million. His owner was tweeting that, if he died, no one would care. And then his owner went out and spent $20 million to move an orca. So things are looking up. Free Willy.
$1 million too. So good luck, JT.
$16 million for a running back is not going to happen.
No. Yeah. Maybe McCaffrey, but even still, it is.
You can get, I'd say 14 is kind of where you top out in the current market.
Yeah, it's a tough sell. It's a very, very tough sell. Although we did just see two running backs go in the top 12 picks or so, in Bijan and Gibbs, which those will be two interesting ones to mock. As I think the hype on both of them is only gonna climb. But yeah, you guys want to get right into a mock? You want to walk through some stuff? We can jump right in if we want.
Yeah, I'm good to jump right in.
All right, let me run through the order. I guess this is our first podcast since the Poconos, which was a banger of a weekend. Robbie, we wish you were there, of course. Yeah, I know. I hope the SpongeBob rave was worth it, and I hope there's another one of those to come. But hey, we got the win for you. We gave you get to choose your spot ahead of at least half the league, and as the order shook out. We've got.
I would have ended up taking the same pick that I got anyway, so I'm pretty happy.
Oh, good. That works out. Your order, as you see above, we got Dez at 1, Frank at 2, Tom at 3, David at 4, Ray at 5, Junior 6, Devin 7. Note the withers always cluster together. Bobby at 8, Robbie at 9. That's not going to be confusing or anything. Myself at 10, Willie at 11, and Papa Withers at the spot he is always at. The turn. Pick 12.
Loves the turn.
He loves the turn. How you guys feel about your draft spots? Robbie sounded like that's the one you wanted, but he does.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Can't really complain. I would have taken the first overall, or I would have taken the 9th was my second one, so I'm pretty settled. I'm pretty happy.
Okay. Des?
Yeah, I feel good about mine. The last couple years, I just felt like kind of forced to take the first overall pick. It was just logical to take it, although there was a couple guys. But this year, I feel like there's a locked and loaded, clear-cut number one bust-proof dude, which I say that now. He's going to get hurt week 3 and miss the rest of the season, but I feel good right now.
All right, so we like to hear. I'm iffy on my 10 spot, honestly. I liked it at the time. In hindsight, I might end up wishing I took 4. That's kind of been my back and forth between 4 and 10. But should be interesting. Robbie, you got a drink in front of you yet?
Ooh, actually. That's a good idea.
Go get one of those.
You guys can start without me. I'll go crack a cold one.
You do that. Des, what do you think? Is there any guys like out of the 12 of us in the league that you kind of are keeping an eye out on your picks that you think might snipe you, that you're worried about? Is Frank, Tom, or David kind of right before you, giving you some pause? Or
Yeah, I mean, I think David does worry me a little bit. I think when it comes to guys that start to fall, I think we both pick up on that. So I don't think it's going to be hard to get guys to fall past David and make it to me a couple picks later.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Tom's a wild card. You never know what Tom's going to do, for better or worse. He might snipe you 2 rounds ahead. Like,
yeah. Jalen Warren, round 4.
I've seen worse round 4, round 5 running backs taken.
Oh, I can't think of it. No?
Sermon, maybe?
Who's that?
What else? Yeah, I mean, Elijah Mitchell wasn't great, but that wasn't really your fault. They then traded for McCaffrey. But all right, how do we want to turn this draft into a drinking game? 2 of us agree on a pick. We drink.
Every pick you take a sip.
Robbie doesn't believe in games, just drinking.
Yeah.
How many rounds are we planning on doing?
How many rounds do you want to do?
I'm thinking 3.
Sure.
Yeah. I like 3. 3
that's
sounds good.
That's plenty. We can do 2. If 2 takes 45 minutes, we can do 2. I mean,
yeah, 2 to 3. We'll see where we are at the end of 2, and we'll see.
We'll see who's left.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess I'm gonna abruptly interrupt this segment though with Trey Lance news just broke in chat. Trey Lance to the Cowboys for a 4th round pick. Robbie, you're an avid Dak Prescott fan. What are your thoughts?
I think that this affects literally nothing unless Dak Prescott gets injured.
All right.
Trey Lance is just going to be the backup in Dallas. I think he'll be a good, solid backup. I actually liked him coming out of college. He played JMU, and I remember watching him. So
yep.
Yeah, he was good, really good. But we'll see. Hopefully, a fresh start will be good for him. And I can't believe Kyle Shanahan, after talking all the stuff that he did about how great Trey Lance was, just traded him away.
And of note, too, Robbie, as much as you did like him coming out of college, you did trade the number 2 overall pick in that rookie draft that turned into Trey Lance. You traded up to get Lawrence.
Yep. I really wanted Trevor Lawrence. I thought he was by far and away the best. And, I mean...
He has been.
He has been, pretty much, yep.
Exactly. All right, Des, this is your time to shine here. First overall pick. What is your thought process when you had your choice of basically any pick, but what was it, 2 and 3, or maybe was it just 3? Either way. What was your thought process taking the first pick? Who are you looking at? Is this pick locked in?
Yeah. So I guess stocks and peers have shifted a little bit, but at the time of the decision, there was clearly 2 guys in the first 2 tier, Justin Jefferson and Christian McCaffrey.
Yep.
And I've had my fair share of Christian McCaffrey and all 49ers running backs, so I'm just staying away from that. And but in all seriousness, Justin Jefferson is just on a different planet. I mean, we're running out of superlatives, and he's only in going to his 4th year. I mean, he's clearly the best receiver in the league, at least in my opinion.
He is.
Yep, fantasy-wise, he was number 1. And, stays healthy. This explosive dynamic is only getting better and better. And it's just, he's a bona fide franchise MVP caliber player.
All right, so I guess 2 questions for you here. One being, are you worried about passing on McCaffrey the 2nd year in a row? A little bit. And, go ahead.
I was going to say no. What's the second question?
Second question would be, are you worried about having to wait a whole, 22 picks until your next pick, and the way this league values running backs?
So, my first question, am I worried about passing on McCaffrey? No. I mean, he can easily go off to be the number 1 running back. It wouldn't surprise me. I could live with that. He's a great player, and it's just it's really just a 1A, 1B preference type of situation. The second question, this year, I don't know. This is like a kind of a weird year for running backs a little bit, and I've done some mocks, and I like the guys who followed me at the 2-3 turn. One guy really in particular that I may be on this mock. We'll have to see. So yeah,
We'll find out. Stay tuned, folks. All right, Robbie. Justin Jefferson 1.1. You know what that means?
Christian McCaffrey 1.02.
I was gonna say drink, but yeah.
Oh, I already drank.
I mean, same, but
You're behind. No,
like, yeah, go ahead.
I do think, I just think McCaffrey's a solid 1-2.
I think
Jefferson and McCaffrey were my far and away 1 and 2 for me.
Yep, wholly agreed there. I think that's pretty much a lock. Although Frank did, if I'm not mistaken, draft
Chase.
He did draft Chase in the first round last year, for what it's worth. But
Chase guy.
I don't.
Yeah, but how? Yeah, that was later, right?
Yeah, it was like 9 or 10. It was pick 10. I think he goes McCaffrey. I'm in total agreement with you there. I think that's a no-brainer for me. That's the end of the tier. It's Jefferson and McCaffrey, whichever order you want. Personally, I'd probably still take McCaffrey just because of the RB scarcity stuff. But the RB depth is weird this year. I do agree with Des on that, and that there seems to be more in that kind of 2, 3, 4 range than previously, just with some of these receivers creeping up.
Yeah, I think Jamar Chase is in the conversation, but I think ultimately, with especially how running backs are viewed in our league, McCaffrey will be the pick.
All right, so I think those two are the first two off the board. I think that's pretty confident. And then once we get to Tom at 3, I think there's a handful of people you could potentially take with, I guess, 1 or 2 favorites here. Des, what do you think?
I agree. It could be even more than a handful. It could be Bajan, it could be Chase, it could be Eckler, it could be Kelsey. I mean, those are probably I think those are the next tier of guys, at least in our league, that will go. But, yeah, it's Tom. Anything could happen. Who knows? He could even pick one of those, a player outside of those 4 players I just named. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Des, you know who went 3rd in our league last year?
Cooper Kupp,
who was more. Yeah. He was, until he got hurt. Was it week 10, week 11, whatever? He was more points per game than Justin Jefferson was. Like, him and Hill are certainly in the conversation here. That same kind of tier with Chase. We'll have to see how Burrow's, what was it, his hamstring, calf, whatever it was? I think it was his calf.
Yeah, his calf strain, yeah.
If he's, questionable for week 1, that could bump Chase down, a spot or 2. Any strong opinions on Tom at 3 here? He's a tough one to predict. Because, as he said in chat the other day, even he doesn't know what's going on in his head.
Yeah, I would,
if I had to gun to my head.
Sorry, one sec. Tom loves Austin Eckler, right?
Yes, he does. I believe he has a signed Austin Eckler jersey.
He's my next ranked running back.
Agreed.
For what it's worth.
Agreed.
I think this is a pick between 2, in my opinion. This is going to be Jamar Chase or Austin Eckler. But what Tom does is
anyone's guess.
He loves both players.
He loves both players. Tom also is not immune to propaganda. He's a hype train guy. And I know this has been mentioned in chat. The Bijan hype train could get out of control in the next week or so.
Yeah, it's funny.
Possible. But I'm with you. I think Eckler does. What do you think, Des?
Yeah. I think, Tom's just one of those, fuck it, I'm just going to take this guy type of guys. And I think Eckler lines with that.
I really just think because of how the running backs are in our league.
Yep.
And Tom doesn't pick again till late in the second. I think Eckler's the pick.
All right. So now top 3 receivers, or 3 of the top 4 receivers still on the board. David is up. David's usually a traditional get his running backs early guy.
It's all about that. Yeah.
But
this has Jamar Chase
written all over it. He's been open about potentially targeting a receiver here. I could see him being worried about being on top of the Burrow news and going Kupp or Hill, but Chase seems like a no-brainer because in his mind he's getting the ADP value. Exactly.
Yeah.
But seeing these receivers go early means someone's going to be, picking their second running back in the 5th round or something, and it's going to be a little dicey.
Yeah, could be interesting.
Oh, yeah. All right, Ray at 5. I don't have a good read on Ray this year, I will be honest. I know he was big on Bijan coming out of the draft. I don't have a whole lot else other than he's confident in his guys.
Yeah, this one's tough. Because overall, I've got a lot of the wide receivers higher this year than I do the running backs. So, I mean, right. But I can see, again, this draft is people are going to reach for a running back. So,
yeah, it's a tough balance. I wouldn't be shocked to see him go, one of the top receivers. I wouldn't be shocked to see him reach on a running back that he really believes in, whether that's Saquon or Chubb or Henry.
If this was my pick, I would take Tyreek Hill, just personally.
Okay. Des, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Ray will take a very slight reach on someone, so like a Tyreek Hill. I wouldn't even say it's a reach, it's just a little firm pick. I know Ray's gonna make a semi-bold pick, and he's gonna stick with his guys, and he's got his guys, and he always is gonna believe in them. So I think he can rationalize a Tyreek Hill 1.05 pick right here.
So Tyreek goes before Cooper Kupp. I guess that's a bit of an upside player, not trusting the health, which is fair.
I don't trust. There's multiple things I don't trust with Cooper Kupp. He's coming off an injury.
Yep.
Stafford's coming off an injury.
The rest of the team's a dumpster fire.
The Rams, who knows what the Rams are going to be like, especially with that offensive line.
Yeah, hey Des, is Cam Akers?
Question marks. Whereas, I guess. And even without Tua last year, Tyreek still got all his touches in. So
yep, and he doesn't need touches.
Yeah,
agreed.
Exactly.
So the way this is shaping out, are we going to see a 4th receiver in the first 6 picks? Junior took Cooper Kupp 3rd overall last year. Cooper Kupp was dynamite for 10, 11 weeks, whatever it was. Now here he is at pick 6. Bijan is also on the board. I'm not.
You know who's a weird pick here, but I could see happening because he's only just below what I would call the next thing. As a Cowboys fan, I think he could take CeeDee Lamb.
You think CeeDee Lamb that early is feasible?
I think it's possible. I have him as my 8th ranked overall player.
And Junior knows he's not getting past Devin twice.
Well, Devin, yeah. He's not getting past Devin once.
He's got Devin and Papa.
I think CeeDee's going to go in the next 2 picks, is my guess.
Okay. That's a little spicy. I like it, though. Realistically, though, is there a world Bijan falls outside these top 6 picks? Do we see that happening?
I mean, I have him lower ranked than a lot of people, so.
I personally think David's going to pick him at 4. I think he's just been attached to him ever since he got that first pick in Dynasty, and I think he's
a victim of his own propaganda.
Yeah, yes, and I think he likes if they'll be good in Dynasty, they'll be even better in redrafts. I think that's how David.
Well, if David was to take Bijan at 4, Ray's gonna take
Chase at 5. Yeah,
Jamar Chase.
Jamar's going. Yeah, Jamar's not falling outside 5.
Jamar's gonna go 4 or 5. Jamar has to be one of the next 2 picks.
Yep. Hey, we'll work with what we got so far, though. So, Junior, you think he takes Lamb or Kupp even over Bijan, basically? Or, this is where Kelsey starts to enter the conversation, too.
I've kind of been a little AWOL from the chat, so I must have missed out on all. I hear David and Bijan constantly.
That's because Dynasty, and no one knows which chat is which.
And I've heard Ray with Bijan, but I haven't listened to anybody else really be all in on Bijan unless I've missed something.
Well, it's mostly because we, as a collective, have no idea which chat is which, and just kind of spam both chats with both leagues, as we're all guilty of.
I just give up reading halfway through.
So, point being, half the David Bijan stuff has been, or all of it, half of it, I don't know, has been Dynasty.
Yeah.
Even in the non-Dynasty chat, but that's part of it, but... All right.
I don't know. Junior, I don't really have a read on, but if he likes Bijan, then Bijan's not a terrible pick.
I don't think Bijan falls outside the top 6 here, honestly. Although Junior taking Cup would make a lot of sense to me. Maybe Ray takes Bijan if we go backwards, but
Yeah, David takes Bijan, Ray takes Jamar, and then Junior takes Cup. Devin would then take C. Lamb or Tyreek Hill, is my guess.
Do we want to undo this Tyreek pick for Bijan, or do we want to leave it here?
I will undo the Tyreek pick for Bijan.
I think that's reasonable. I could see him taking Tyreek, but I think Bijan makes more sense.
Honestly, I could see David taking Bijan too. So
I could as well, but
I think 4 and 5 will be flip-flopped. Could be flip-flopped.
Could be. That one could go either way. I think these are the first 5 people off the board, although I'm more confident that I think Chase doesn't make it past 5, and I think Bijan doesn't make it past 6. That's kind of where I'm at. It's entirely possible he could fall, but I think that hype just trends upwards. And this leaves Junior with, you're saying CD. I think he takes Cooper Kupp if he's there.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Cooper Kupp is.
Cooper Kupp would. It's a toss-up. I just think the CD Lamb aspect of it is something to watch. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree at all. And this is also, once you get past, I don't think David takes Kelsey. Once you get, the 5 to 12 range is pretty much Kelsey territory.
Yeah.
Could be anywhere. We've seen tight ends fall before. Kelsey fell into the second round last year. Maybe that happens again because we're all running back hungry or tight end shy. I don't know. But
Okay, so if Kupp goes 6, there's 2 picks at 7. And that's, again, we got another Cowboys fan who has openly said he loves CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Goat?
Yeah, so CeeDee or Tyreek to me.
Or Tyreek. Yep. Does he pick with his head, his heart, or who knows?
Well, it's not really a stretch.
It's really not a stretch. This is where CeeDee pretty much is valued, and I don't disagree with that. And there's enough running backs floating around that you're starting to get to the spot where Dev could project, hey, I will get, at least one of the running backs I like if he's, whether that's Najee or maybe Taylor's there. Maybe Pollard makes it back,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Des?
Yeah. I think this is the year Devin fulfills the prophecy and takes CD Goat first round.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
All right, CD Goat to Devin. Pick 8, Robbie.
There's only one pick going here on that sequence.
Yeah. Were you upset to see Bobby take the pick right in front of you after you took pick 9?
A little bit, just a little bit, but I knew there was a possibility, and I'm gonna play with my head, not my heart. So Bobby can happily have Saquon Barkley, and I have him in a dynasty, and I'll hope for his success.
I think I know who you're taking here, but Des, who's Robbie taking here?
I'm gonna take Tyreek Hill. Yeah.
Spoilers. Yeah. He's been trying to put Tyreek off the board for this tier though from. You could argue for Chase.
If I pass Tyreek Hill if that goes the way it goes and Tyreek Hill's available, I'm going to take Tyreek Hill.
Would you think about trading up for Tyreek, or do you not have that big of a tier difference?
I'm happy to sit where I am and kind of go from there.
See what falls.
There's a couple other names on this list that I would be interested in if Tyreek was not there. But, yeah, it's definitely something to watch and see.
Yeah, so we're definitely drinking because you got Tyreek Hill. I've been side sipping, but all right, Des, Rob, I'm gonna let you guys make this pick for me here. Tell me who I'm gonna take, and then I'll chime in. But
Jimmy's a big value guy.
This,
or we can listen to Des make vaguely sexual noises.
Okay. Yeah. So my number one pick left on the board is Travis Kelce. But that being said, is Jimmy going to pick a tight end when I have Travis Kelce, and then Diggs is an option. I got a lot of wide receivers coming up. I don't really have any running backs that are in this kind of tier.
I will say when I made this pick,
I got 4.
when I made
got
this
four
pick,
possible
I envisioned it being Jonathan Taylor, but
Yeah,
not.
you can't take him right now.
Yeah, Des, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think this is still a Jimmy fuck it Jonathan Taylor pick, in my opinion. But obviously, there's some question marks. So
Well, if it was today, Jonathan Taylor would not be a first round pick.
Correct.
no, but I think come draft day, I think the dust will settle. I think Jimmy ultimately will take Jonathan Taylor because I know he doesn't want to leave that first round without a running back.
It looks like the second round's going to have a good collection of
Second round does have a nice crop of running backs right now. Also, this is the point. This is kind of why I wanted the 10 spot.
Mm-hmm.
I like being kind of here on the turn, so I can kind of try to play the guessing game. You know, if Willie and Papa already have quarterbacks, I'm not going to draft a quarterback. I'll get one on the comeback.
Yeah.
So on and so forth. This is also, where if we're drafting on Yahoo, there's going to be fewer trades.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Helps the ADP guessing game as opposed to being able to trade up and cut
I
somebody.
have four. To me, if Jonathan Taylor's not in, there's 4 possible picks: 1 tight end and 3 wide receivers. To me.
Oh, you have the 3 receivers being Diggs, AJ, Amon-Ra, or do you have Devontae Adams in that group too?
Yeah, Diggs, AJ, and Amon-Ra.
Okay, personally, I kind of have Diggs in his own little tier, and then kind of AJ, Amon-Ra, Devontae in that next group. I'm not sure how to order.
Kelsey and Diggs then.
I
both
think
are good picks.
I think if the situation's still muddy, I think you're going to go Diggs.
Yeah, I mean, he's clearly the number 1 receiver I have on the board. Kelsey is tempting. So basically, look, I'm looking at this board right now. Diggs isn't making it back to me.
No.
Right?
You'll go 12. He'll go 12.
Kelsey might. There's a chance Kelsey makes it back to me.
I don't think Kelsey will make it back to me.
No.
I don't think he will, but there's a better chance than Diggs makes it back to me.
Yes, I agree.
Running back-wise, Chubb and Henry, your guaranteed volume, they've shown an ability to produce. Taylor is still Jonathan. Taylor in the second round, I'm generally fine with if we get some decent news. Same with Pollard. He's going to break out. He gets all the work. There's 4 running backs there I like.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I mean, can talk myself into. So there's an argument to be made to not go running back here. I think you're right. Let's say we go Diggs, which I think is reasonable given the way this is shaken out. A receiver's not going to make it back to me. I like the way both of you think. Willie's up, and Dez, let's step into the mind of James Clark.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a really scary place to be. So Willie's the big peer pressure guy, right? Travis Kelce sliding. Does he take Travis Kelce? That's a question.
Mind you, he just traded Travis Kelce for what may be a bag of peanuts in Dynasty.
But knowing Willie, this is something he would totally do. After doing that in Dynasty, he would come again in redrafts. It make no sense.
Yeah.
He also in Dynasty traded Kelce for a bag of peanuts and then went and traded for Derrick Henry. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm not going to act like I know what Willie's thinking, but I know he likes Derrick Henry.
Yeah. Derrick Henry's my third ranked running back on this list.
Chubb and Pollard.
Yeah.
I think he goes Henry here. I wouldn't be shocked to see Kelce, and I know Papa is salivating at the thoughts of starting Kelce Chubb.
I know. Willie. Let's go with Derrick Henry. I think he knows what he's getting. Kind of go with that. Yep.
I think this is a no-brainer. Papa, it's Kelce and Chubb. Period.
Yeah, he loves Chubb.
Yes.
I'll drink to that.
I know what that sounds like. I know.
But it's true.
Yeah.
Now Willie can get a wide receiver.
Willie can absolutely get a receiver, or he can double up on running backs, but you never know with Willie.
And Willie's got 4 wide receivers here that I love.
Yeah, there's a handful of good ones. I do want to chime in to say I kind of think this first 13 people are like a quote unquote from that last 7-8 picks or so. I think could go in basically any order, and I would not be surprised. Kelce could go at 5. Nick
Yeah,
Chubb
I
could go at
agree.
7.
Mhm.
You could pretty much rearrange this list.
Yep, agreed.
All right, Willie, round 2, pick 2.
I think he goes wide receiver here.
All right,
Since he got a running back.
Des, who's your favorite of the A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Devontae Adams group?
The favorite of those 3 is Garrett Wilson. I think this is the first kind of eyebrow raiser pick. No surprises coming from Willie. I think he's gonna, he kind of played it a little safe, a little conservative. I think he's gonna try and make a splash. The next pick, I think he's gonna go Garrett Wilson.
Upside chasing.
To me, this pick screams AJ Brown. He did it last.
Agreed.
He did it last year. He showed how good he was. This pick to me screams AJ Brown.
I generally would agree with you. Looking at last year, Willie took Kamara in the first at pick 11 and Diggs at 2.02. AJ Brown would make a lot of sense. We can stick. I think AJ Brown's the more likely outcome, although Garrett Wilson would be hysterical.
I would go with AJ Brown. I think Willie is the more conservative.
Willie's afraid of getting bullied.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Take the safe pick.
That's where Willie whispers to Devin that, ooh, this could be a good Garrett Wilson spot, and then Devin kind of chuckles at him, and then he shrinks into his shell and takes AJ Brown. I'm leaving the first round with 1 running back. I think that's probably going to happen, especially this is the way the draft shakes out. If someone like a Diggs or maybe AJ Brown was there in the second, I would think about them, but this is probably a running back.
The running back on the list for here is Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard, yeah. Tony go.
But I hate the Cowboys. I agree, but I
also hate
the
Cowboys.
But I do think it is Tony Pollard.
I probably end up, assuming we get some decent Taylor news, I take Taylor just with my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you that right now.
Well, let's do it. Yeah, let's take it. Okay.
But if there's bad Taylor news, then yeah, it's Pollard. And Pollard, honestly, getting into the second round, I think Pollard's a first round value. I really do. If he's actually that one, like not a 1A, 1B, like he's just the one in Dallas. That's a good offense. He's going to catch a ton of passes. He's shown to be dynamic. He could put in a Kamara type season.
Yep. And this one would hurt me, but he dropped, and I need a running back. I would take Tony Pollard.
Yeah, you'd have to, because he's the clear best available.
It really hurts me, but
Yeah, no, that's a no-brainer pick there. You're pretty happy he fell. He probably should have gone 13th or 14th overall. Brings us to Bobby. Bobby and the Giants. We haven't.
So to me, there's 2 players here. I think Bobby takes the known quantity.
Yep.
More than he takes the young stud. Yeah. I think he goes Devontae Adams.
Okay.
I'm with you. I wouldn't be shocked to see like a Chris Olave there or a Garrett Wilson, just because Bob's not afraid to shoot a shot on a guy he believes in. We saw DeAndre Swift go in the first or second round last year. Adams makes a lot of sense here, though. I agree. And that's...
You know what you're going to get with Adams. Jimmy Garoppolo, it's going to be great with Adams. Yep. He's going to throw him the ball all the time.
He'll look his way. The guys who went receiver here got to be real happy. This is shaping up perfectly for the David Jr., Devin, Des potentially. Because if some of that back half of the draft doubles up on running back, if, Willie takes Pollard, and then Robbie still feels the need for a running back, takes like a Josh Jacobs, and Bob decides to double up on running back, grab Breece Hall or something, those guys at that first end of the draft who took receivers are getting real nervous.
Yeah.
But
I think this pick right here, Devin, right? He's next?
Yep. Yeah.
It's the next running back to me.
Josh Jacobs.
Which is kind
of... league last year.
He went nuts last year, won Robbie the league. He's kind of in a weird tier of his own, I feel like, with this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a solid, mid-solid second rounder.
Yeah, he's well produced.
This is a pick where we know Junior loves to... He's the best... This is an Amon-Ra St. Brown pick.
I agree. And Junior's team, he might just have 250 catches between these two.
Yeah.
Or
I think this is an Amon-Ra St. Brown pick.
could you
I
see
don't think
Junior in love with Garrett Wilson
never
instead?
is one to worry about, I need a position of this. He'll take the
Yes.
guy who he thinks is the most value. And I think that right now is one that dropped pretty far, and that's Amon-Ra St. Brown.
A question for Junior really is Wilson or St. Brown?
I think it's St.
He'll
Brown.
go off. Yeah.
I think the next pick off the board is Wilson.
To Ray?
But I think
Ray will hand the pick in
Aaron
immediately.
Rodgers, the Packers connection.
Yep.
He's going to be wanting to root for Aaron Rodgers.
Plug it in. Yup. And David, meanwhile, is pretty happy that the last 4 picks were receivers because David's not leaving the second round without a running back, right?
No.
And guess who's? And you know what's funny? Guess what? My this actually will be interesting. But my next ranked running back, Ramondre Stevenson.
Does David trust? Does he break one of his own rules and draft a Bill Belichick running back?
Well, my next 3 running backs are Ramondre Stevenson, Joe Mixon, and Najee Harris. So,
he's gonna say no to Joe.
With the legal troubles looming, probably.
And actually, here's one that I think is a slightly lower guy, but I think's got high upside that David does like. That's Travis Etienne.
Yep. We know David's been high on Etienne, even if he just traded him to Dez.
I think this could be I think this could possibly be an Etienne pick.
I'm kind of with you because I think he thinks that Najee is bad at football. I think he doesn't trust Ramondre to get the usage. Mixon's legal troubles. Let's go Etienne here. I like that.
What about, actually, you know who else he hyped up to big time? Jahmyr Gibbs.
I think it. So this is where, if you're David and you want Jahmyr Gibbs, you have to take him here because he has Tom and Dez 2 times in the next 6 picks.
Yep. I agree. Tom loves his Detroit.
Both Tom and Dez also are fond of the young studs. I mean, modern day Wander Franco's out here.
Okay.
I think this is Etienne, but I agree with you, Robbie. That's a good point. If he doesn't take Gibbs there, he's not getting
Gibbs is going to go at the end of this, I think.
Yep. Yeah. I wholly agree with that. We'll put him down for Etienne. I wouldn't be shocked to see this be Gibbs. I mean, imagine a second round of the draft is 2 Lions, 2 Raiders, potentially 2 Jets. Like, what is this?
Yeah,
right. What lives we live in?
Crazy.
I think Tom's next, right?
Tom is next. Tom has Austin Eckler. We still have receivers. You got Jalen Waddle, Chris Olave, T. Higgins on the board. Running backs, Najee, Ramondre, Mixon, Gibbs, Breece Hall, J.K. Dobbins, Aaron Jones. Kind of a clusterfuck.
Yeah, I would. This, to me, I got 2 guys in the next tier, like in the tier left. And that's Jalen Waddle and Chris Olave.
Yep. Also of note here for Tom is he can try to predict what Frank and Dez are going to do, but one has a receiver.
I think whichever pick that Tom makes wide receiver wise between Olave and Waddle, Frank takes the other.
Yeah, 100%. Let's put Chris Olives. I know Tom likes Chris Olives.
Left in the tier to me.
Yeah, he likes Chris Olives, shaken, not stirred.
Yeah. And then so that would mean I would say Frank would take. Frank's very much one of those guys who's going to take the next ranked player, especially if it's at the position he needs. I think Jalen Waddle is that pick.
I'm gonna buck the trend here a little bit. I think he takes whichever running back he prefers. I guess Waddle is kind of it's Waddle, or depends how you feel about T. Higgins.
Well, I think a running back will Dez is going to take 1 running back at least.
True.
But I think there's a couple on this board. It depends. Frank loves his Patriots. That's the only thing I can think of in Ramondre Stevenson.
Yes, he does. And there's a chance Dez doesn't take a receiver at all here either. Dez, is there someone you're hoping falls to you as you're watching this play out?
Yeah, I mean, I really am hoping Etienne falls to me. I think in most other leagues he would, and this night by David, like we talked earlier. But yeah, I mean, don't love Ramondre, especially after the Zeke signing, but I'm not going 3 receivers in the first 3 rounds, so I would definitely take. He would be the favorite back. If not, I might, because Najee and Joe don't super excite me.
Okay.
I can agree with that.
That makes sense. Let's put Frank down for Waddle, just the way this board's shaping up. The running backs are actually the more present ones. Comes to Dez. I assume one of these picks is a running back.
Yeah, Frank. Well, so yeah, I would take Ramondre with the first of the two picks.
Does Breece Hall interest you at all at this point?
Not there. 2 weeks ago, he would have been very much in contention for this pick, but I mean the Dalvin signing just shakes it.
I have no idea what's going to go on in the Jets.
Not a clue. It's
insane.
Yeah, it's tough. It's also the type of thing. If I already had a reliable running back, if I had a Nick Chubb, a Derrick Henry, or even Bijan, just because he's going to get work, or Eckler, McCaffrey, whatever. Then you think about, hey, he looks pretty good in the end of the second, early third, potentially, if he hits, because you don't have to, rely on him to be your RB1. But he could also fall to the fourth round. I have no idea. All right, Des. Round 3. Is there a position you have in mind? Are you just taking best available at this point because your team's balanced? Do you start thinking about quarterback, tight end?
So me personally, I like to try and get good value on my quarterbacks and tight ends. So I usually don't start thinking about those until round 5 or 6 or so. And I'm already receiver. So this is pretty much a best player available pick, in which in that case would be T. Higgins for me.
Another receiver off the board, and this is where this is a receiver run that I don't think this league has seen in a long time. No one trusts the running backs, and I don't disagree. It's hard to trust really any of the running backs left. Brings us to Frankie here. Waddle, McCaffrey. What are we thinking, Robbie?
A little stumped. He's got one receiver, one running back. I have a bunch of receivers
on the board, but it's pretty much running back time, I feel like. Right? Or
could be Mahomes.
It's an early Mahomes pick. Plus, he already has Mahomes and Waddle in Dynasty.
Oh, true. Yeah.
But maybe.
Mahomes starts to enter the radar, though, here.
Absolutely. This is the first spot where I'm like, I have no idea where people go. The tiers start to get blurred. I think he takes one of these running backs. Najee. I think Najee is a logical one with the usage he's going to get. It's a straight volume pick.
Yeah, I think he's going to be. Yeah, I agree.
I think
who's the backup? Is
Jalen Warren.
Backup is Cincinnati still?
No, P. Ryan is now in the Broncos. He actually may be the Broncos' Week 1 starter with Williams coming off the ACL. I know Williams has been practicing now. The Bengals' backup is either Travion Williams or Captain America, Chris Evans.
Captain America.
Yeah, Mixon is in consideration here, absolutely. I think Mixon, if he plays the whole season, could be a good value. He wasn't super impressive last year, but he got a lot of touches. It's kind of similar to Najee, really. Let's put Najee for Frank. We're left with Tom. So Tom has Eckler. He has Olave. Tom picks Jalen Warren.
Yeah.
Seriously, though, this screams Jahmyr Gibbs or Breece Hall, doesn't it? Probably Jahmyr Gibbs.
Probably do.
Yeah, Tom loves those guys.
Screams Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, the draft capital, the whole deal here. Who did Tom take in Dynasty? Did he take Gibbs in Dynasty in the rookie draft? Let me pull this up.
The Gibbs.
He took Gibbs, right? Yeah. There's no way Gibbs is making it back to David.
No.
Yeah, he has Gibbs. He took Gibbs like third overall in Dynasty. There's no way he passes on Gibbs here. He is fully in on his own Kool-Aid, and I can't blame him. Gibbs has big time potential.
I agree.
Also, I play Tom Week 1 in Dynasty. All right, David's up. Jamar Chase, ETN. This is a spot where I think Mixon would make sense, but I don't think he wants to stack Chase and Mixon, so I think that's out the window.
I agree with that. Yeah, that'd be a little too much Bengals. I don't think he is feeling Brees.
And
don't think Aaron Jones. Yeah, what?
We're into like Aaron Jones territory. It's Mixon or Aaron Jones or Dobbins or Brees. And
do you think he's really going to go running back?
No, I think he takes receiver. Who's the best receiver on the board here?
My best receiver on the board is Devonta Smith or Keenan Allen. Do you know who I think he could go with? Since he loved him so much last year, Jalen Hurts.
You think David, of all people, goes Hurts with? I mean, maybe.
That's who technically is like in my rankings. Yeah. I got quarterback starting to pop up. DK Metcalf's another one right there.
Yep, DK. So you brought up quarterback. Does David start to think about a tight end like an Andrews, a Hawkinson, a Kittle, or is this too early? Just the way again tight ends fall.
I think tight ends you can get in the fourth. I think there'll be a tight end run in the fourth of the top tight ends.
Agreed here. Yeah, this is a weird spot. I think I almost want to put down Devonta Smith. I think, like you said with Hurts, you watch Smith. David wants good offenses. We know he wants good offenses. He's already got Chase. Smith would be kind of a perfect 1B to Chase's 1A. All right. Brings us to Ray. Ray's got Bijan and Garrett Wilson. So he's got two real young guys. Does he stick with the youngins or does he go for some guaranteed volume? I think Mixon fell too far at this point.
Yeah, I think I've never seen any of them with Mixon, but I would take Mixon. I think Mixon goes in one of the next two picks anyway, even if Ray doesn't take
and Junior's kicking himself not getting Mixon here. Yeah. Because Mixon as an RB1 is pretty damn good for starting with the receivers Junior did. And you don't want to start with Breece Hall, so I think that leaves us with Dobbins, Aaron Jones, or like
my
Cam
guess
Akers?
Is Aaron Jones.
Maybe
I have Aaron Jones
Cam Akers?
What's up?
Or like maybe we're in Cam Akers territory. That's kind of what we're looking at.
Oh boy. That's a bold one.
I know. I don't feel good about it, but I think it's Jones.
Yeah.
Jones to Junior, who, I mean, at least Aaron Jones is a good running back. Handles, catches the ball, runs the ball. I mean, A.J. Dillon's there. A.J. Dillon was bad last year. That's not a huge concern. It's more so what happens without Rodgers. We got Dev up, CD Goat, Josh Jacobs, and
DK ?
DK Metcalf's an option. I wouldn't be surprised to see Devin go quarterback.
I think we're into quarterback territory. I don't think Devin has in his heart to take Jalen Hurts. Keenan Allen's the one I was going to say.
He's not going to take Jalen Hurts. No, he will not take
No. I think this is Keenan Allen. I think Devin typically picks on the safer side. He gets the guys who aren't sexy but get the job done. Josh Jacobs, Keenan Allen, both fit that mold. That's a no-brainer. I think Keenan Allen's the type of guy, if I were to go running back, Allen's a guy I would want to fall to me, even if I don't know if he gets past Robbie. All right, Bob's up. I see two people I think Bob takes.
Yeah, I think Mahomes is very much creeping up sooner or later. I think that's a very strong candidate.
Okay. Are you, let's interlude here. Who are your top, let's say top three quarterbacks? In order.
Mahomes. I guess I'll go Hurts 2, and then I'll go Burrow 3.
Burrow 3, even with the injury?
Yeah.
Okay. Robbie?
Yeah, I'd agree.
You have the same order. Okay, because I'd probably go Mahomes, Allen, and then either Hurts or Lamar.
Devin does love Josh or past Devin. So Bobby's not going to take Jalen Hurts.
No, Bob's not taking Hurts. I could see Mahomes or Allen.
I can see Mahomes.
I
can also see him taking a wild swing at somebody random too.
Calvin Ridley.
Ridley, yeah, I could see that.
I could see Calvin Ridley hype. I could see this being the Breece Hall spot where Bob just bets on the Breece Hall upside and talent. I think Ridley, Hall are the two likely ones here, or a quarterback.
Or a quarterback.
Who jumps out? Give me some.
To me, who jumps out? Calvin Ridley.
All right. I think that's again, it's an upside swing. Bob is not afraid to take upside swings.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we look at his draft last year. It may not have worked out, but like he took some swings. Kyle Pitts in the 4th round, Gibson in the 5th, DeAndre Swift in the 1st. Didn't work, but took some swings. I mean, Saquon in the 2nd was fantastic. But all right, that brings us to our Rob Fletcher.
Yeah, I have a huge drop off in running back. So at this where I'm at right now, so I won't be taking a running back at this point. If all of these running backs are gone, like Aaron Jones was like the last of the running backs I would take.
Agreed, and I could see. I mean, honestly, all 4 of those running backs that went this round: Jones, Mixon, Gibbs, Najee. I could see going the round before. I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, I agree. Even the wide receivers, I'm not loving.
No, we're into the like.
Bird, DJ Moore.
It's the guys with bad quarterbacks, basically.
Yeah.
I might just take my quarterback.
Which is? You're going to hate yourself if you take an Eagle and a Cowboy.
I know. But he's the one to me.
Do you want to root for the Eagles all year?
Yeah, I would take Jalen Hurts probably.
There's a certain point where you pick with your heart. I took Taylor in the 2nd round, but
it's Mahomes or Hurts, but I like Hurts. I think Hurts has got a lot higher upside.
Interesting. Okay, I guess the rushing upside there is
yeah. That's what I'm.
Yep.
That's what I'm going on. The rushing upside.
All right, we get to me, Diggs, Taylor. Again, I'm not in love with these running backs. I don't see a huge difference between Brees, Dobbins, Akers, Kenneth Walker. Something will be there on the turn if I want one. Receiver-wise, jumping out, we got DK, Debo, McLaurin, Amari Cooper, maybe DJ Moore. That's kind of a 4 or 5 set. Mm-hmm. I'm a little intrigued.
So I have DJ Moore a lot lower than a lot of people because I do not trust
Fields.
Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm. Tight ends are a little tempting here, although again, Andrews, Hawkinson, Kittle. I don't really know how I sift those. One of them will certainly make it back to me, or 2 of them, if I wanted to go tight end because Pop already has Kelsey. This is I got burned by Debo last year. This is a DK pick.
That was a good pick. I like that.
I'd be pretty happy to see him make it to me here.
I'm not a big DK fan, so.
Oh, he's an absolute goon of a person, but he's big.
No, I didn't like him as a. Honestly, once Keenan Allen went off the board, the next few guys I had a break in wide receivers too.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree there necessarily. I also it's a tough pill to swallow drafting a receiver with a slower 3-cone time than Tom Brady, but
yeah.
Brings us to Willie, Derrick Henry, AJ Brown. To me, this pick screams Dobbins or Hall, but it's Willie. I don't know.
I think Amari goes one of these next 2 picks.
Who?
Amari Cooper.
That's a pop pick.
Even with Chubb already?
Ooh, yeah. I don't know. I have Amari Cooper as my next ranked wide receiver.
Agreed. I mean, it's him, McLaurin, Debo. I don't have a huge difference between the 3 of them.
I have him, Debo, then McLaurin, but they're pretty.
So Papa's definitely going at least one receiver next round.
I can see Papa doing a double receiver right now because the running backs, again, big drop off in running back.
Does Willie go running back or Mahomes here?
I think he'll take running back.
Who? This is definitely the bleh area of running backs.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he should take Hall here.
All right, Brees Hall, Willie, round 3. Maybe it's early, maybe not. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Papa, I think he probably takes Amari Cooper anyway here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you think it's a double up spot. He already has Chubb, established running back. Dobbins, I think, is Dobbins and Akers. Those two are kind of the last.
Kenneth Walker. I have Kenneth Walker pretty up high.
Yeah, he's one too that I think you're looking at the draft, hoping he makes it back to you, Robbie. If we were to go in the fourth, some more. Which I mean,
he's one on my list.
Alex Madison.
He's definitely on my list.
Madison, maybe. Yeah. Let's say he takes Dobbins. Why not?
Yeah.
He takes Dobbins. Willie's up. Willie only has one receiver. Probably a receiver pick here.
Yeah.
McLaurin or Debo?
Debo to me.
Willie taking DeAndre Hopkins here would be the most Willie thing ever.
Hilarious.
Yeah. All right. Brings us to me.
Dobbins. I think Debo.
Yeah. Brings us to me. I only have one running back. Honestly, this might be you getting cucked on Ken Walker. If I have two running backs, I probably go with one of these tight ends here, although I don't know which one I like more. For the sake of the draft, let's say I go Cam Akers. Although Walker might be ahead of him. I have not done my round 4 research at all.
Kenneth Walker, I have a lot higher than Akers.
Okay. I think Akers has more guaranteed volume.
Mm-hmm.
Is kind of the thought process there. Although taking Madison wouldn't surprise
I'm going to
me either.
go with a weird pick, but he's my next ranked running back, and I need a running back. And that would be Miles Sanders.
Yeah, again, a guy who should have good usage. Should get some touches. And now at this point, it's kind of dart throw territory.
I'd say Bobby would take Kenneth Walker.
Bobby take on the Kate. Yep. Also,
a sleeper pick on this one for Bobby. I don't know if he would do. This would be a reach and a half, but
Justin Fields,
tight end Darren Waller.
You think he takes Waller over Andrews, Hawkinson, Kittle?
Yeah, I can. It's a giant.
Why not? Wait till it comes back, and he'll take him a pick in front of you. This is a run on running backs. I think Devin's pretty happy to get Mahomes in the 4th here.
Yeah, I agree.
Mahomes in the 4th. Junior also only has one running back. Madison, Montgomery, Damian Pierce, Rashad White, James Conner, Dalvin. This feels like a Madison pick. Or maybe Damian Pierce?
Yeah. I can see that.
What's that, Des?
I said I think Madison should be the pick here over Pierce.
All right. Madison goes. Ray is up. There's still some good quarterback tight end value.
Ray's going to take a quarterback.
You think he goes quarterback or tight end?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen? I mean,
you know who he loves? Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys have Andrews as your tight end too, or do you think Hawkinson or Kittle potentially?
I have Andrews as my tight end too.
Yeah, I agree. I think Hawkinson, if he gets the volume he got last year, could potentially do that. Or Waller's getting all the hype as well. And David's up.
David loves a high ranked quarterback, but he needs a running back.
Why not both? Lamar Jackson and David.
That's that's exactly where I was going. Yeah.
Yep.
Tommy boy.
Do you know who this screams out to Tom? He's seen all the quarterbacks go. Josh Allen.
Is this where Tom takes DJ Moore?
I can see that too. Yeah.
DJ
Moore is right up there.
Allen makes sense. I could see this being DJ Moore. We haven't drafted a receiver in a while, but Frank is up now. McCaffrey, Waddle, Harris, McLaurin seems to make a lot of sense. It's kind of the last real good receiver.
Yeah.
I have him,
Yep. All right, Des, Mr. Irrelevant of this mock draft, because I don't know how many more rounds I can blindly throw people at.
4 rounds is enough.
Des, who you got to go running back with one of these, I would think. Who has your eye?
Probably Pierce. Definitely Pierce over Montgomery. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damian Pierce. All right, that's our 4-round mock. Take that.
Round mock draft.
That was more mocking than I thought we'd do, but I'm pretty happy the way this played out. Quick glance: who has the best team? Give me let's take 60 seconds for station identification and identify who we think is the best team, and we can all blurt it out. All right, I see 2 teams that jump out to me.
I got 2 too.
Chris can go first.
You want to say one, Robbie?
My first team is Bobby.
It's Bobby. Ooh, I
love the upside of Barkley and Ridley. Kenneth Walker, you never know, is a wild card, but
Seattle running
Devontae
backs.
Adams is a solid. That's 2 solid wide receivers and 2 solid running backs. And my other one is Ray. I really like what Ray did. He went young, but I think he's got a good team going.
Yeah, the production is certainly there with Bijan and Mixon and Andrews. Wilson's the upside swing where if he hits, then yeah. Funny enough, those weren't either the 2 I picked, although I agree with your kind of analysis that those 2 teams do jump out. First one that jumped out to me, honestly, was Frank. McCaffrey is that good. Najee's a great compliment, providing volume. And, I mean, Najee will have, consistently give me, 14, 15 points. Waddle and McLaurin are perfect compliments to McCaffrey, though, as receivers who can have big boom weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is, honestly, it's Papa. Starting Chubb Kelsey, you got to be ecstatic.
Yeah.
And then he gets Cooper, you get Cooper, who, despite being on the same team as Chubb, is a number 1 receiver on his team. So that's what I got. Dez, any team jump out at you here?
Yeah, the same as you, Jimmy. Frank and Papa. Those are my 2. The same reasons, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to love starting Chubb Kelsey.
Yeah, and Frank with Waddle. Waddle could be a top 5 fantasy receiver easily. So the number 1 player in fantasy. So he's going to be that would be a strong contending team.
Yeah, it's kind of a who are the big receiver duos over the years, but he could flip flop spots with Tyreek, and it wouldn't be like that surprising, like a Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison type deal. Where
they're both going to be top 10, top 15 receivers.
Exactly.
Especially if they throw the ball so much in Miami.
Yeah.
All right, one. I'm not going to keep you guys too long, Robbie. I know you got plans to get drunk by yourself, so.
Yeah, I got like another 10 minutes in me, and then it's time for me to go hit it hard by myself.
Yeah. Well, we'll be around.
Because I'm a loser.
I'm sure there's a SpongeBob race somewhere. Looking at this draft, so we're gonna get a trade in the first 2 rounds. Who do you think is most likely to trade up or trade back? I'll say out of the first round. It can be first or second round, though.
Junior.
I was just gonna. That's where things start to teeter-totter a little bit.
Those 2 especially love to trade.
I'd like to throw my hat in that ring too.
Yeah.
I'll be looking to potentially trade back out of the second round. I'll make that pitch right now while we're live. If depending on how it shakes out.
You said trade back. Trade back out of the second round.
Well, maybe not out of, but trade back in the second round, like trade from 2.3.
I'm looking. What are you at, 10?
Yeah, I'm at 110 and 2.3.
I'm looking to pick up a second rounder.
Okay, so we could facilitate that perhaps.
We can definitely do something. Yeah.
It's gonna hinge on who falls to that spot, but we can certainly be in touch. This is why you don't want to rush. Something like that. This is why you don't want to rush picks, though, because the draft is better when people can strategically trade instead of being shoehorned into, the slot. That's why,
I agree.
The fantasy gurus, whatnot, all rave about auction. Yeah. We had our own mixed results with auction, but it allows for you to get anyone. Same deal with a draft where we have active traders. Yeah. When there's no trades, then it's just watching people fly off the board.
For anyone who's going to listen to this, I'm looking to trade up into the back end of the second or into the mid-second, if anyone wants.
Like 212, Robbie?
Maybe.
Depends on who falls.
There's one player who won't make it back to me in the third that I have my eye on. So is definitely an option.
Does that player have like 12 names?
No. I do love him.
I know you do.
But it's not that guy.
That was sneaky one of the best trades that nobody ever talks about in Dynasty.
I know. I moved up 2 picks to do it.
You moved up 2 picks. I said, screw it. I don't care about this guy. I'll just trade back and draft Kyle Trask. Who might be the starter. Okay, I'm still holding on to hope.
Yeah.
But that was.
I was a big fan.
No,
I watched him in college.
Yeah.
So I was a big fan.
You had identified the talent. You were raving about him in DMs. I'm like, who the fuck's this guy? But it worked out. That was a good one. All right.
I loved him going to Detroit too. I loved him moving into Detroit.
Nobody loves going to Detroit.
Yeah. I loved the opportunity he was going to have in Detroit.
Yeah.
Kenny Galladay was gone. Jared Goff was new. He'd come in with him. They'd both be new.
Yep. Yeah. All right. I think that pretty much wraps up the mock here. Robbie, I'd be remiss to not to let you off the hook this easy, though. I need an over-under on Giants win total this season.
The line. I think the line is like 8.5.
I have no idea what the line is actually. Let me look.
Which is low. My guess is they go 10-7.
10-7. Is that good enough to make the playoffs?
Yeah, we'll be a
7.5.
Low-ranking wild card team.
Over under this year is 7.5.
7.5?
Yeah, you might have to get on that.
Hit it. No, I think we go 9-8, 10-7, right where we were last year.
Is that first, second, or third place in the division?
Second in the division.
Yeah, it's the Eagles' win total is like 12 or something absurd.
Yeah, the Eagles are going to win the division. I'm pretty comfortable saying that. The Cowboys haven't improved that much.
Hey, they got a new quarterback.
Yeah, to me, they just have not improved as much. I think the Giants in all honesty, it's going to come down to the head-to-head Giants versus Cowboys matches.
Yeah, that's 2-game swing.
Yeah, 2-game swing. I think it could easily go 1. I think if the Giants can make it go 1-1, the Giants will edge them out. It'll be, I think, solidly. It'll be Cowboy. I think the Eagles are going to go 14-3. Giants and Cowboys will be 10-7, 9-8, depending on how those head-to-head matchups go. And the
Baltic Commanders.
I was going to say Redskins. I couldn't remember their name. The Commanders are going to be like 8-9, 7-10.
Yeah, that's.
I think everyone's going to be good. I really do. That division is good.
They all play defense. Quite simply, they all play defense. Mm-hmm. Cowboys defense kind of scary. Even the Commanders front seven's real scary.
The Giants front seven is pretty fucking scary.
It is, and then the Eagles are on a different planet.
Yep. That's going to be some fun games to watch. I'm very, very excited.
Yeah, and you get to watch Sam Howell play against some of the best defenses in the league. Which
is going to be funny.
We'll see what happens.
Except I guarantee he'll have one game where he tears up the Giants.
Oh, absolutely. That's
you
classic.
You always know. But Daniel Jones is what? 6 and how many years is he playing?
This is his 5th.
That sounds right.
So he's what? He plays him 8. Yeah, he's probably 7-1 against the Redskins. Or
whatever they're
Commanders
called. Yeah.
In 4 years.
Okay.
I guess he didn't play the first year, so he's probably 6-1, 5-1. That's the one team he owns.
He owns them. Yeah. Well, he's got to start owning Dallas.
I do think the Giants. I think the Giants will end up 3-3 in the division. That's my guess.
That's not bad, given that they have to play the Eagles twice.
Yeah, 3-3 is my guess.
All right. Any closing words, Des, Robbie, or is it time to wrap this up?
No. Hey, it was a pleasure, boys. I'm very excited for the season to come up. I'm excited, not just excited for the football season. I'm excited for the NFL, and I'm excited for our fantasy football, whether or not it be this league or our dynasty league, and it's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, you got a championship to go defend. This is also where you pitch West Coast Draft 2024.
I'm always in for a
Cali
West Coast
draft.
Yeah, I'm always in for that. That's never going to be something I'm going to say no to. that'll be a blast.
That would be awesome.
Finances and time off is always an issue. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right. Thanks for joining us, guys. Let us know all the things we did wrong in this mock, and we'll be in chat. See ya.
Wow.
Bye, guys.